Hello students, how are you? Let's begin with our civics chapter. Children, before moving to our actual topic, let me tell you about our constitution. In our constitution, the Indian government has been declared as the federal government in nature. So here the question arises, what do you mean by the federal government? So federal government means where the powers are being divided into so the central government and the state government, right? So this is the basic thing. We all should know about this one. So what constitution has done, the constitution separates the government into three branches. And here we have these three branches, the legislature, the executive and the judiciary, right? And in brief, just I want to tell you about the legislature makes laws for the country. The executive is responsible for the implementation of laws and the judiciary is responsible for the interpreting and the protection of the laws. So children, today's topic is about the execution of laws. So our today's topic is union executive. So for this we should know about that the laws which are made by the parliament, so who are responsible for its implementation. So here comes the union executive, right? Now union executive consists of the president, the vice president and the council of ministers. And who is the head of the council of ministers? That is the prime minister of India, right? Now let's discuss one by one. The first we have the president. Now president of India holds the most distinguished office in the country, as he is the only nominal head of the executive and not the real one, right children? Remember this thing. Now we have to discuss that who can become the president of India, or we can say that what are the qualifications needed to become the president of India. Children, first thing is that he should be a citizen of India, right? Second thing about his or her age, so that should be 35 or above 35, right? Now the third thing is that he should be qualified to be a member of the Lok Sabha, okay? And the last one, that he should not hold an office of profit under the union or the state government or any local body, right children? So these are the you can say the conditions which are needed to be the president of India. Now how long he can enjoy this position, right? Or we can say that what is the tenure of the president. So the president is elected for a term of 5 years, right children? Now the second question arises, who are responsible for his election? So he is elected by an electoral college. Now electoral college means it includes the members of both the houses of the parliament and the members of the state legislative assemblies. So in short we can say that MPs and MLAs are responsible for the election of the president, right children? Now this is about the president. Now let's move to the second part of the union executive, that is the vice president. Children, qualifications are the same for becoming the vice president. But here one exception is there, that he should be the eligible candidate for the Rajya Sabha, because we all know that he is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha, right children? And the qualifications are the same, right? He should be the citizen of India, right? About the age criteria, here 35 and above 35, right children? And what about his tenure? The tenure is also same, that is 5 years, right children? And yes, who are responsible for his elections? Here we have only MPs, the members of the parliament from both the houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. They are responsible for the elections of the vice president of India, right? So next we have the prime minister, okay? Now children, the Lok Sabha is elected for 5 years. And who is the leader of the Lok Sabha? The Prime Minister, right? And Lok Sabha consists of members belonging to different political parties. And the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha is called by the President to become the Prime Minister and to form the Council of Ministers, right? So in case of any party where the party is not getting the majority of votes, so in that case the coalition government will be formed, where more than one party will join together and they will form the government. Okay, now who can become the Prime Minister? What are the qualifications needed for the for becoming the Prime Minister? So in this case we can say that the person appointed as the Prime Minister of India must be a member of either of the house. He could be from the Lok Sabha or from the Rajya Sabha also, right? And here is one star point, that any outsider, means any non-minister, any non-member of the parliament can also become the Prime Minister or any of the minister. Okay, and the duration is for the 6 months, right? And during this period he or she must get elected or nominated to either of the house. So in that manner the particular person can become the Prime Minister or any other minister, right children? Now afterwards we can say that about the qualifications. Let's go through one by one all together. So he must be the citizen of India. Second, he should be the member of either of the house, right? Third thing is about the age criteria for the Lok Sabha member, 25 or above 25 years. But if he is from the Rajya Sabha, then we have to see the age criteria which is applicable for the Rajya Sabha member, that is 30 years and above, right? Now we have the Council of Ministers. So the Council of Ministers are the most powerful organ of the Union Executive. It is headed by the Prime Minister and it includes 3 type of further ministers. So in this, the number 1 we have the ministers with cabinet rank. They are the senior most ministers. Number 2, ministers of state, and number 3, deputy ministers. Children, each minister is allotted one or more departments, or we can say that portfolios, right? And these portfolios, such as we can say finance, railways, defense, home minister, okay, health and communication minister. Like this we have ministers from the cabinet part and for the other category also. And the council is collectively responsible to the parliament, and the ministers hold office as long as they enjoy the confidence of parliament, right? Now otherwise the no confidence motion will be passed, and if the individual minister is responsible, so he alone has to resign. Otherwise the entire council of ministers have to resign and the new elections will be held, right children? So this is all about the Union Executive, and in this we have covered the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. And the Council of Ministers, usually their tenure is also of 5 years, right children? So this is all about in this topic. Thank you so much. Take care everybody. Bye bye.